With news out of Anderson County, where investigators say 3 people were shot early this morning at a gas station. The county's coroner's office. Team coverage this morning as we keep a close eye on the snow and the ice and the wind conditions. Why not a safe zone? Why not create some sort of no-fly zone to create some sort of safe haven?
This case has gotten national attention over the last 13 months, and about an hour ago, Alec Murdaugh was charged.
Fans are checking into their hotels down here. They're getting ready for dinner, and they're really just getting ready for these games that officially start tomorrow. If the team is driving by right now, everybody's out here right along the side of the road. And another record in the record books falls.
What? He couldn't wait.
Do you have any milk?
Throughout the week,
power
in fact,
crews
as
are
we
out
take a
in
look
the
here, well, look at that.
What?
What?
Oh, I love that.
Happy
fella.
birthday, Pat. Sunny skies
Handsome
all day.
fella.
Yikes.
Perfect birthday
Yikes.
weather, and he is history in the making.
But also, we've got a couple of things to show off here. Look, I'm not a big fan of cake. Peach cobbler,
Woo!
homemade,
All right.
Destiny's aunt.
Look
I've
at
got
that.
Reese's
Linda.
peanut butter cups from my friends here, and Torello gave me this peanut butter cake.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy
It's gonna be a big
birthday.
day.
Happy
Beautiful
birthday.
sunrise. We'll get together to raise money and raise awareness for ALS. And with me today is Nick Zappatelli. Nick is battling ALS. 9 cars jumped the tracks, and we're going to show you the bottom of one of those rail cars here, giving out the teachers' names and phone numbers to these preschools in hopes that these teachers might find new jobs. Coming up at 6, I'll tell you what the South Carolina Department of Social Services has to say about this closing. Rock made a joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Rock's joke was about Pinkett Smith's shaved head. She recently went public with her struggles with alopecia. Now, moments after that joke, Smith approached Rock on stage, and there you see it, slapped him right in the face.
Wow.
Pioneer in space exploration and graduate from Clemson is reacting to the historic Artemis 1 splashdown on Sunday. South Carolina native and 1985 Clemson grad. I wanted to show you this. A man pulled up just a moment ago and gave out these flyers. We're going to show you some exclusive footage here. Smartphones are streamlining the way an inmate can illegally chat with people far beyond the prison walls. These may be responsible for contaminating your drinking water. Get ready to see a whole lot less of this traditional mulch and a whole lot more of what the city calls a taxpayer money saver. Jacob's family had been right by his side from the moment he arrived at the hospital on Wednesday. How hard does he make it for you in a state like South Carolina when there's such a large evangelical voter base? Does he pose a
I'm
problem?
leading with the evangelicals. You know, I'm a Christian, and I did well with evangelicals, really well in Iowa, but nationwide I'm leading.
Bringing George W. Bush into it, have you worried about, he's still fairly popular in this state, have you worried about any type of backlash?
Yeah, Patrick, I didn't bring him in.
Healthcare.
Right.
A President Donald Trump is in office.
Right.
South Carolinian needs health insurance. What's
Absolutely.
the number one difference they're going to see between that and Obamacare?
Okay,
Just
well, first
right
of all,
at the top.
Obamacare is going to be repealed and replaced.
When you look back on the last 8 months, how will you look back on this as it pertains to your life running for president?
Great question. It's going to be certainly a very interesting period of my life.
We're going to show you some exclusive footage here. Smartphones are streamlining the way an inmate can illegally chat with people far beyond the prison walls. And the South Carolina Department of Corrections is confirming that it's been happening near Columbia through the mobile app Periscope.
My phone froze. Oh yeah, that was your birthday.
This is Life Behind Bars, shown this week live as it happened to all of those willing to watch. Viewers able to comment and ask questions as prisoners responded in real time. The Department of Corrections says 2 inmates have been identified but not yet charged, and there's an investigation underway to identify all of those involved. The location of the prison in South Carolina is not being released at this time. Prisoners are seen drinking from an orange cooler and smoking a substance. At one point, a prisoner leans in to read and answer questions from those watching. Then, a corrections officer walks in and the phone is hidden.
Y'all come out of here. Everybody that don't live in here, come out of here.
WYFF News 4 learned of the Periscope account that is now deleted from a Virginia man who had been watching the live feed throughout Sunday and Monday. The SCDC says being in possession of a cell phone is a criminal offense, but as of now, broadcasting on social media is not a criminal violation. Regardless, the federal government recognizes the dangers involved.
If you think about the possibilities for a video call,
or some sort of video contact with the outside world, there are serious and dangerous ramifications to that. And so I think it's critical, regardless of whether it's a civil offense or criminal offense, it's critical for the FCC and other state officials to really crack down on it.
SCDC Director Brian Sterling wants technology installed that will jam cell phone signals within the prison walls, making them useless. And Governor Nikki Haley, along with 9 other governors, recently wrote a letter to the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission asking for the authority to implement such technology.
Time is of the essence, and so I think it's heartening that our chairman recently suggested in a response to Governor Haley that he does think this is a serious problem and that he's committed to working with me and others to find a solution for it.
All right, we'll keep you updated on the charges of those prisoners involved in that. Now, the SCDC says over 1,600 cell phones and phone accessories were confiscated back in 2015. The Department of Corrections encourages the public to report cell phone and social media use by prisoners through a form on their website.
It all began with one single marker right here in the middle of Bethel Cemetery in Simpsonville that reads, "In memory of enslaved African Americans buried here." But where in this centuries-old cemetery are they buried? Enter Girl Scout Troop 1967.
It makes me feel good because you get to identify all the voices who didn't have a voice when they were buried.
At Bethel United Methodist Church, a high-tech discovery, inch by inch, foot by foot, ground-penetrating radar revealing hundreds of years of history under the ground. Each orange flag indicating an unmarked grave, and following close behind, Girl Scout Troop 1967.
Everyone deserves to have an identity and to be acknowledged. So it's just an honor to be a part of that.
The girls are looking to earn their silver award by helping the community with a project. They were given a choice by the church: help plant a perennial garden or help identify and honor former slaves buried in the cemetery. But they needed a better look. So with help from a GoFundMe campaign, they brought in one of the best in the business, Len Strozier with Omega Mapping Services.
This church and this group of Girl Scouts, led by Tracy Graham, amazing, just amazing that they wanted to do this.
For over a year now, Troop 1967 has been digging into the past to discover more about this marker, and now they have their answer. The data showing 15 to 20 former slaves were laid to rest right here in a single row. The church says they're now working to learn more about the people buried there without a headstone.
We have learned that these slaves worked for members of the church and attended church here at Bethel too.
It's a good idea that that's the way we can do the research, find out who's where, and we can identify them finally after all this time.
And troop leader Tracy Graham says the real work now begins.
If we can find who they are and possibly find descendants of these people buried here and connect the past to our present, that would be the full scope, full circle for this project.
Graham says a local company has offered to donate a larger marker to replace the current one, even individual markers for all of those with no marker at all.
It is also going to create historical facts for the people that follow us as members of this church. And that's very big.
In all, the ground-penetrating radar discovered nearly 100 unmarked graves in Bethel Cemetery, going back nearly 200 years. Graham tells me she feels it can be harder for the African-American community to trace their ancestors, but these Girl Scouts are ready to uncover some answers.
This puts us one step closer. So, just lots of pieces to a puzzle. And this right here is a huge piece. So very exciting.
We're telling their story even though they probably didn't have a chance to tell their story when they were alive.